Jesse, how have you been?
I've been...
Great. I'm back, and you're fired.
What's going on, everyone? This is episode 101 of the podcast, and I'm flying solo today. Now I'm just going to get right into this value. I've been thinking it through, and I put together these 5 mindset tips for anyone who's trying to start a business. Now, I've said this before, but you don't have to start a business to be successful. You know, most people don't do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But however, if you're inclined and you're young and you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you know, this decision-making period in your life, it is some of the most fun that you'll ever have. You're in the right place if that appeals to you by listening to this. And sometimes it's hard for me to go back to the basics like this. You know, I ingrained these principles in myself between 19 and 22 years old. It's become part of me. It's deeply rooted in my subconscious, but I'm passionate about spreading this to young entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial-minded people out there. You know, I remember sitting there reading the book, Think and Grow Rich, among other books. And this was the point in my life that I had the most incredible shift in my soul. You know, the period of intense learning, 2 to 3 years, it shaped me, it inspired me. I kind of call it like the honeymoon period, the period where you're like, wow, you see your future and you're like, this is the life I'm going to live. This is the mindset I'm going to adapt. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm ready for a journey. And it could wear off as you get older and you get going. So this is also a good resource at any point in time because you have to keep this stuff fresh in your head. But these are 5 mindset tips. They're not specific tactics. These are about mindset. So number 1, your business is more important than you. Your business is more important than you. You're asking for something with a 1% chance of happening, 1% chance of having success. You need to act accordingly. Starting a business is a huge risk. And so you need to put the business on a higher level, on like a personal hierarchy. It needs to be on a higher level than you even put yourself for your own comfort because you're asking for something special. You need to act like you will die if you don't make this start working, and you don't make it start working fast. You're going to be broke. You're going to have to make sacrifices. But again, the business is more important than you. You're going to have no money. You'll run into problems right away. It's going to be draining. You're going to be bad at it. But these are all short-term costs. They're short-term expenses for asking for something above average in life. That's why you have your business, to be above average, to be spectacular. And when you start, you're going to have to say no to social obligations, especially if you have a regular 9-to-5 schedule and you're used to just being able to say yes to everything on the weekends. You're going to have to say no to those things. But ultimately, they're only minor things that you're going to miss. So you're going to be in the hole. Yes, you're going to be broke, and you're going to be financially and emotionally have all your energy be drained. That's what it's like when you're starting a business in those first, 3 to 4 years. But remember, after that period of time, you're going to be back into a position where you can afford to go to these social events if you want to hang out with your friends. Financially, you'll be able to with the effort you put in. And you may have not reached your goal yet. 4 to 5 years in, you're not going to be, oh, I made it or anything like that. But you'll be right back on the same playing field with all your friends who have regular jobs.
5 years later.
Jesse, how have you been?
I've been...
Great. I'm back, and you're fired.
You'll have your business processes in place. You'll have an income stream, and you'll be at the same level. But for you, the ceiling is the fucking moon. And for them, they're still at their regular job. And yes, you had to give up those 4 or 5 years of grinding, putting all your emotional strength into getting the business, off its legs. But eventually, in a short period of time, ultimately, in a 150-year life, 4 years is not that long. That's all you're really giving up. If a newborn infant is shitting everywhere, it'll die if you leave it alone. That's what your business is like. And you need to treat it more importantly than you treat yourself. So that's number 1. Number 1, your business is more important than you. You have to adapt that mindset. Number 2, identify your inner lies and call them out. Most of the times when you hear someone say they don't have the money or they don't have the time for something, it just means it's not a priority for them. And I mean with anything. Like if you ask a friend to go out or if you ask, a friend to go to spring break to Cancun. you and they say they don't have the time, they don't have the money, it means that they're not able to make it a priority. They may want to go. It might be the thing that they want to do the most, but they can't get the hours off work. But that's exactly what I mean. If they knew the world was ending in 6 months and they're the only one that knew, they would go on the trip. Like they want to go. But of course, keeping their job is a higher priority. It's all about priorities. And you lie to yourself if you use those excuses to not start your business. A big lie that people tell themselves when they're being close to that honeymoon stage where they start their business, they start taking on this mindset, all these important traits, is that I'm definitely going to start a business. I'm definitely going to start a business. I'm just waiting for the right time. The right time. No. Clear those cobwebs in your brain. Stop lying to yourself. Timing, it's all about prioritizing. And you need to prioritize everything in your business. So timing is just an excuse. Most of the time, the excuses you tell yourself are valid. I can't do it right now. No, you're probably right. If you lay it out on paper, you do the math, you have a lot of variables, you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, maybe you don't have the money. So, hey, it's a valid excuse. Maybe you don't have the time. But you have to acknowledge to yourself that these are excuses because life is going on every day. And you have to be able to say inside yourself, in your own head, that you're lying to yourself, Sean. If you were going to start a business, you would have done it by now, Sean, or else you would do it by now. So do it right now. You have to be able to tell yourself that, even if you're making excuses to yourself. And if you think about it and you're honest with yourself and you're fine with not starting your entrepreneurial journey, that's okay. Just be truthful with yourself. It's a clear mindset principle. Some common excuses and common things that people will tell themselves that are excuses for not getting started. If you say, I want to start a business and I'm not doing it for these reasons, you have to understand these things are excuses. Number one is money. Number two is a business plan. I'm waiting for the perfect business plan. I'm waiting until I gain up a certain amount of money. A business plan always never goes as planned, especially if it's like 5, 10 years. You have to make adjustments. So you're not going to have it all mapped out because you can't map out that far ahead. A football coach who has plays drawn out throughout the whole game, they have to change it in the first quarter, the first drive. You never know. Business plans are not a reason to start. Oh, I'm going to wait till my business plan. And the other one's partnerships. Money, business plans, partnerships. These are excuses. You don't need a partner to start. It's just an excuse for not starting. So learn to call yourself out when you're making excuses to yourself about starting, especially when you're not starting because of a money, a business plan, waiting for a partner. Understand that you have to force yourself starting your business, your independent life, your entrepreneurial journey. You have to force that over everything else. If it's not truly your top priority, then you'll accept your own excuses and you'll not start your business. So number two is identify your inner lies, especially when it comes to starting, and call them out. Identify your own inner lies. They're excuses. Number three, make personal responsibility your initial instinct in all situations. To have your own business, you have to take an unreal amount of responsibility. If the website is down, that's your fault. You're driving, got to get somewhere, and the road is closed. Hey, it's your fault. If you can't get somewhere where because last night it unexpectedly snowed 20 inches, you're snowed in, you still have to think somehow that's your fault.
You just couldn't behave.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
And you have to be that extreme. You have to be this extreme about it when it comes to responsibility. It's not something that people are going to appreciate, but you'll appreciate. And you have to understand that if something happens bad to you, the easiest way is to say, it's my fault right off the bat. It needs to be an instinct. Responsibility is everything in your life. So why? Why is it? It's because in business, when you're on your own, you have no real safety net. So you don't have time for your brain to default to thinking, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. That thinking is worthless. Especially if you're in a time of desperation where something just went wrong. Not everything happens for a reason. You can't think everything happens for a reason. You make things happen for your reasons. So when these shitty, unexpected setbacks happen, as they will in every single business, there's going to be bad things that happen you don't expect. Train your gut reaction to be, I accept this. It's somehow my fault. And you are going to be strong enough to accept the blame. You have to be strong enough. You have to blame yourself. You have to be strong enough and to be able to say, I accept the blame, actually accept the blame, even if it doesn't matter. Just say you accept it, whatever. And you have to fix the problem. That type of victim thinking where, oh man, why did this happen to me? It's not worth thinking like that in any sense. So don't be a hater. Don't be somebody who's always looking around negative. Number three, make personal responsibility your instinct in all situations. That's what entrepreneurs do. Take responsibility for the situations around you. That's a mindset principle to starting that you need to adapt. Make personal responsibility your instinct in all situations. Number four, you go to work every day and you're always in work mode. When you don't have a boss, nobody is checking on you. There's no time clock to punch into. You can sleep an extra hour and nobody will know. Nobody will care. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to have a routine. You need to get dressed. You need to be at a certain work spot every single day, including the weekends. Hopefully, running the business is so invigorating, so fun that you just want to get up and it's going to be easy for you. If you feel this, that's a great sign. That means you're doing the right thing by starting being an entrepreneur. That feeling is addictive. That feeling is great. That feeling of is I gotta get up. I love what I'm doing. I don't want to waste a minute. If you feel like that, that's great. You're on the right track. I'm from sleeping in as long as I could. Whenever I had the chance, when I had a job on the weekends, I was like, yes, I can sleep in. To now, I've become a 5 a.m. gym person every morning. It's just easy for me to get up because I love what I'm doing. So adapt this mentality that you are always working. You're a master. You're in full control of your time and you work hard. Even if you're hungover, you force yourself to get up, slap on some clothes, get to your spot, just like you would if a regular job or school back in the day. You feel bad, but you get up, you throw the clothes on, you go through the motions. You are somebody who works every single day. You work. Number four is go to work every day. You're always in work mode. You are working. Last one, number five, mindset principle. Be a tryhard. It's cool to try hard. If you imagine back in school, this stereotype where people would, make fun of the nerds for trying too hard and getting straight A's, the thought that partying is cooler than studying. Stop trying so hard. Any type of silly mindset like that, it needs to be eliminated from your brain. It's stupid. It's fine. It's so dumb. Like if you were one of the people who was a cool kid in school and you like made fun of people who tried hard or whatever, I think you understand kind of the stereotype I mean. That's fine if you were like that, but you can't be like that anymore. You have to adapt the mindset that it's cool to work hard. The Mark Cubans, the Gary V's, even the Elon Musks of the world, they illuminate this principle. Hustle. Go to the moon. Go to Mars. Uh, enjoy the grind. Business. It's a sport. It's played 24 hours, 7 days a week. You almost want to be that sweaty kid in gym class who went all out and goes to the next period, history class, and they're all sweaty.
We going undefeated, shattering records, taking these high expectations to unimaginable new heights. State champion.
You have to be that type of guy, but school's over. So, I mean, in real life, and you don't have to actually be sweaty. You just have to actually be always having people around you understand that you go after it all the time. They're going to be like, why is this guy so competitive? Why is this girl so competitive? People may say that about you. They might say that. And you have to understand and laugh and just think it's a compliment. You have to be comfortable ruffling some feathers. Ultimately, you're not that important. Like, who cares what you do in a small scale? So you can't be mad at yourself. You have to be comfortable ruffling some feathers, dealing with conflicts, constantly just putting yourself out there with no shame and being a try hard. That is the final tip that makes all of this stuff work. Being a try hard, become comfortable in the skin of a person who's going after and accomplishing great things. People will try to hold you back a little bit. People might not be comfortable with it. Eventually, over time, they will get used to knowing that's who you are. That's what you do. You are a tryhard. You are hustling. They come to visit you for a week. They know that they're not going to see you every second because you have to work. That's key. So develop these 5 mindset tips early on in your entrepreneurial journey, your honeymoon stage, when you're learning that the world's at your fingertips, you start thinking like this, you feel great. Number one, your business is more important than you. Number two, identify your inner lies and call them out. Number three, make personal responsibility your initial instinct in all situations. Number four, you work. You go to work every day. You're always in work mode. You can't take off. You get no days off. You get no paid sick days. Number five, be a try hard. Try hard. It's cool. It's fun to try hard. And if you adapt these 5 mindset principles in your life, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be rewarding. You're gonna be going, you're gonna be accomplishing things. And go through the honeymoon phase, the shift of understanding that if you're an entrepreneur, this is the way your mindset works. You start your business, you take on the world, and then you will have the ability to accomplish great things with these 5 mindset tips. I had a lot of fun doing this. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for listening. Episode 101 of the Sean Lowery Show.